Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we will be talking about the first type of matrix row operations, which is matrix row switching. This is probably going to be the most simple type of matrix row operation, and you are about to see why. In matrix row switching, you are essentially doing what the title is telling you to do. You are switching rows. So say we are given matrix A. These are just randomly selected numbers, but matrix A is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So let's say we have matrix A with the following entries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. As you can tell, I was very creative when creating matrix A. In matrix A, there is row 1, which is the first row, there is row 2, which is the second row, and there is row 3, which is the third row. We designate these rows as R sub 1, R sub 2, and R sub 3. If there are 4 rows in the matrix, we'll call that R sub 4. If there are 5 rows in the matrix, we'll call that R sub 5. You get the idea. With matrix row switching, what we are essentially doing is switching the rows. So let's say that we wanted to go from, let's say we wanted to switch rows 1 and 3. So what we would say is R sub 1, draw a right arrow to R sub 3. And what we are essentially saying is we are switching rows 1 and 3. And so what does that look like? That means these two rows right here get switched. So in this new matrix, well, let's call it matrix B. We'll just call that matrix B for the purposes of this lesson, but again, it doesn't really matter. Matrix B is still going to be a 3 by 3 matrix, except we have switched rows 3 and rows 1, but row 2 stays exactly the same. So we're going to keep row 2 where it is, 4, 5, and 6. But what we're doing is because we're switching rows 1 and 3, we're going to write the entries from the original row 3 into the new row 3, and we'll write the entries from the original row 1 into the new row 1. So what that looks like here, I'm going to write that in a different color, is that this will be 7, 8, 9, and this will be 1, 2, and 3. And we'll close the matrix. What's really, really, really important here, and where students often get mixed up, is copying down the entries. It's really easy to kind of get a little mixed up, or maybe you copied down half the entries correctly but didn't copy down the other. That's why it's really important to be very systemic in the way that you do the matrix row switching. Another way that you can designate matrix row switching, if you don't want to write this R1 to R3, is you can literally draw an arrow. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We're going to rewrite We're going to rewrite matrix A. It's going to be the exact same matrix. And we're going to do the exact same row switching. I'm just going to show you a different way to write it. So matrix A, I'm going to rewrite is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, as we saw before. I'm going to go ahead and label our rows R1, R2, R3. None of that has changed. But another way that we can write this row switching is with arrows. So we can say that this row is going to go here and this row is going to go here. And you only draw the arrows for the rows that you're going to switch. So we're not going to draw an arrow for row 2. And then we can write our new matrix. So this is going to be matrix B. And as we can see, because we switched, we're putting the new row 3 here. We will write those up here, 7, 8, and 9. Row 2 stayed exactly the same, so we're going to write those entries in the middle. And row 1 is going from the top to the bottom here, and so we're going to write those entries right there. We'll close our matrix, and there you go. That is another way of seeing or recognizing the matrix row operation that is row switching.